attraction, lovers in action, yeah. One of us is gonna get hurt. You got your madness, and I'm good at bad habits. Oh, one of us is gonna get hurt. I'm not one to trust, ask anyone, and you will see it. I love for the thrill. Oh, I'm dead serious, it's you or me, you best believe it. This is not a drill. This is fatal attraction. These are times of crowds of passion. One of us gonna get hurt. Took a shot for the magic, but we're crashing into tragic. One of us gonna get hurt. I would love to see you cry. I would love to shut you out. Baby, I'm the gift that's never given. Whoa. I don't know.
Welcome back to another video. I'm very sweaty. It is Wednesday evening. I've just finished squats, which is why I am like this. Yeah, it's Wednesday evening. It's week 2, back to training post-comp. Week 2 is already feeling significantly better than week 1, just because I jumped straight back in after comp. Like literally the next day I was in the gym doing accessories. So my day 1 accessories is like a full body session with mostly focused on legs, but I do have upper in there as well. And I also have some comp bench at the start as well, just an ascending sets of 7. So last week, obviously the day after comp, that day felt pretty rough. Like it wasn't awful, but it didn't feel great, especially I think bench felt the worst. But on Monday, everything just felt so comfortable and so much easier. Like I was able to go a lot heavier on my leg movements and my upper movements. Everything just felt stronger and better. So I knew this week was probably going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say easy because everything's heavier, but just feel a bit better than last week, and it definitely has so far. Squats tonight felt good. I mentioned in the last video that just because of the fact that I haven't let fatigue die down from comp, my lower back's getting quite pumped and stuff when I'm squatting. Nowhere near as bad today. It's still there ever so slightly, but it's nothing in comparison to last week. Like I've still got burst blood vessels showing on my lower back. Nothing like crazy, like it's just a tiny little patch. But yeah, that's just fatigue build up. So that will hopefully be gone by like Saturday anyway. So yeah, things are feeling good. Squats felt really comfortable. Loving squatting in complete flats. Feels so much better than my Jordans did. Like I just feel like I'm on my legs more. I think the real test will be when I go to powering through for my week 4 session, because it'll be on like a proper platform and stuff, and I'll have other people around, and that's when things tend to feel worse for me, which is why I'm going to force myself to still go. So yeah, I'm also very excited to bench tonight because it's sinking bench day. Done some more kind of research into it, looked at some more lifters that do it. And I was right in thinking that the bruising that I got from it, so I mentioned it in the last video, is most likely just due to the fact that some of my reps weren't as controlled. So you are supposed to control the sink into your chest, and obviously I tried to do that as best as I could last week, but it was my first ever attempt at it, so obviously it wasn't perfect. So hopefully tonight I can maintain the control a little bit better. Can't get my words out. Yeah, hopefully I can maintain my control a little bit better tonight, and then I don't have the same issue as last week of bruised ribs. But yeah, we'll see. My throat has been a bit scratchy the last few days. I'm a little bit concerned that I've kind of run myself into the ground. Like I have not stopped since comp weekend. Even like work-wise, like I've had like more sign-ups and stuff, which is fantastic. And I'm really grateful and really happy. And like I am balancing everything, but essentially my relaxing time has diminished just because also I haven't been the best with managing my time. So I need to sort that out. But to be fair, it's only really because of the fact I've been at comps both weekends. Like I haven't got any more comps to go to now for I think 3 more weeks until I've got a client competing. So hopefully now I can just kind of catch up on everything, get everything how I want it, and just manage my time better. Because normally Sunday is a big day for me for work. Like that's when I get most of my programs and stuff done. Like I talk to all my clients constantly throughout the week, but Sunday is more of like a check-in day where we talk a bit more. So yeah, I've been having to like do that on like a Saturday and a Monday instead, which just means that I've had less of my like free time that I'd schedule. Like normally Saturday morning I work, and then Saturday afternoon it's like training and just spending time with my family, chilling out, whatever. Sometimes like going out to things in the evening and stuff, and I haven't really had that for the last few weeks. So basically that was a lot of nonsense to say that my throat is feeling a bit scratchy the last day or 2. So I'm slightly worried that I've run myself down a bit too much, but I am going to do my best now to stop doing that. Also, as you can tell from the fact that I'm really sweaty, the garage is so warm that there's not really a breeze in the air, and my parents are away. So So like, the garage has basically been shut off like for the last few days when it's been really hot, so it's just very stuffy in here. So before I trained, like an hour or two before I trained, I did open all the doors to let some airflow through, which helped, but it's still very, very hot, which is why I look like this. But also, what I was going to say, very important to make sure you're hydrating if it is warm where you are. Anyone in Britain, make sure you're staying hydrated. I feel that's such a big thing in this country. Like we have like a couple of weeks of summer, like mini summer, then it gets really cold again and everyone just sort of forgets, and then it's suddenly like out of nowhere it's just boiling again, and we're definitely in that phase now where it's really hot again. But yeah, make sure you're staying hydrated, and not just with water or whatever you drink. Make sure you are also getting electrolytes in, especially if you are exercising, because dehydration can decrease your strength levels by quite a lot, and it will affect recovery and just how you feel in general, and literally just how your body is functioning. So make sure that you're not just drinking, but try and get some electrolytes in as well, especially if you're training or for your training sessions. And if you don't have electrolytes, because I don't have any because they were really expensive when I went to buy some the other day, and I am not good at spending money, I just put some salt in my drink. That will do for now. Obviously it's better to have electrolytes if you can, because you'll get more in it, but adding some salt to your drink also will help you just hold on to that water a little bit better and replenish your stores. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to bench because I'm very excited to practice sinking bench a bit more. I've got a very good feeling about it, as I've said like 10,000 times in the last video. So yeah, it's a little bit heavier today. I think I've got 100 for my 3 singles today, so it's still not heavy, but it's heavier. So it'll be good to see how it feels. Yeah, I'm going to just stretch off my upper back a little bit first though, because I think that did help me last week as well with positioning. And like I mentioned in the last video, the key is kind of keeping the tension in your legs but relaxing your upper body, and I find it a lot easier to relax my upper body when it's a little bit like looser, I guess, rather than my whole body just being quite stiff, which it feels at the moment. So yeah, I need to cool down and then I need to bench.
To say, so make sure you stay away. Baby, this is war, but no one's winning. Oh, I'm dead serious. It's you or me. You best believe it. This is not a drill. This is fatal attraction. These are times of crowds of passion. One of us gonna get hurt. Took a shot for the magic, but we're crashing into tragic. One of us gonna get hurt.
Okay, so sinking bench was incredibly disappointing. It's so hard to learn a new skill. Like obviously it wasn't heavy today, so nothing should have been difficult, but one thing I really found was if I didn't get my touch point quite right, it was almost like I couldn't catch the line on the way up, which is why some of my reps looked a bit grindier. I filmed every single set. Some sets looked awful, some sets looked okay. I'm not concerned, like I still think it's a good move, or it's a very good thing to even just try and see how I get on. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's going to be quite frustrating to learn, I think, and because I'm only doing it once a week, it's going to take time to get used to. I do think my ribs are still going to be bruised, so I was trying to control the descent a bit more, which is obviously what you're supposed to do. Like I shouldn't just literally let the bar just drop, like that's obviously stupid. But I was trying to control the descent almost as much as I possibly could, but it still just feels tender from where I've just let it then sink in. Some reps I didn't let it sink quite as far as others to see how that kind of felt. It was a lot of trial and error today because it's a little bit heavy. Like last week felt great because it was incredibly light, where this week is still light, but obviously as it gets heavier it's going to be more and more unforgiving. So I noticed that yeah, there were definitely some reps where, especially on my rep work, the first 2 reps would feel great, then the 3rd rep I'd either touch a little bit too high, or I would like let it dump down a little bit too much, and it was almost like I couldn't quite recover the line on the way back up. I think my butt stayed down still on pretty much every rep. There were a couple where it was close, so if it was on like a comp bench it probably would have come up slightly, just because this bench is a little bit higher than a comp bench, but I also feel like my voice is going, so that's not good. Yeah, very mixed feelings. I definitely think I'm still going to have a bruised rib cage tomorrow. Also I found it quite hard to hit the same spot on my chest every time, so I think this type of benching feels better with a slightly wider grip. Normally I kind of have my little finger on the ring, so I have quite a close grip for my comp bench, but I'm kind of going middle finger on there at the moment, and that feels a bit better, and I am internally rotating a little bit more, which definitely does feel good, but it's just a learning curve, I guess. So just gonna keep trying each week and see how we get on. Intrigued to see how my ribs feel, hoping they won't be too bruised, because the thing is it would probably be good to do this like 2 days a week, especially when we get our home gym set up, like I mean, by that point, hopefully I'll have made a decision of whether or not I'm keeping this in anyway. But say the home gym gets set up like quite quickly, then it would be good for me to maybe do a second light day of this. But at the moment, obviously I can't do that if my ribs are hurting in between. But yeah, I have been told it's not normal for ribs to hurt, but then that's just by one person. So it also could be dependent on the person. And like, they don't hurt now, and it wasn't a problem. Like, it's nothing I'm worried about, but it's obviously something that I don't want to have to deal with all the time. But I also don't really understand how my body will just get used to it. I'm really struggling to talk today, just because of my throat. But yeah, it was very hit and miss. Some reps felt okay, some reps felt terrible. On my rep work, I'd say the first rep of each set felt really good. It was just like by the third rep, I think my hands had slid on the bar a little bit more and I just wasn't quite getting the line right. And yeah, it just didn't quite feel right. But it's okay. My singles were okay. My first single was terrible, but my singles were okay. I also didn't do as many warm-up sets this week. So last week I did a lot of warm-up sets at 70 just to kind of practice the movement and get a bit of a primer in, which I didn't do this week, which probably would have also helped. That was also silly on my part. But yeah, it's a learning curve. It's just, I'm not very good at being bad at things. And this is obviously a new skill that I have to learn, like a completely new skill. It's completely different to normal, like soft touch benching. So it's just gonna take practice. But I still think it'll be a good move if I can get it right, because it is a lot more powerful off my chest. It's just getting the touch point correct on my chest. It's just figuring out how much to kind of let it sink, control, like how much to control the sink. Because actually my best single was my second single, which I didn't let it just drop on me. You know, I still controlled the sink, but that was the rep where I actually let it sink in the most. And it was a slightly faster descent. So maybe I need to work on timing like a quick descent while still maintaining that control over the bar so that it doesn't obviously hurt me or like bruise my ribs too much or anything. But yeah, it's just skill practice. So yeah, it's fine. Lots of ramble. Also massively overheating still, as you can probably tell. But yeah, just got deadlift left to do and some beat stance RDLs, so I'll get them done in a sec. Need to get a drink just because of my throat, although I feel like I have actually managed to stay hydrated tonight, which is good. Yeah, nothing else to really say. It's a very boring start to week 2. I just want to be good at soft touch, not soft touch. I just want to be good at sinking already. But again, it's a skill. It takes time. I'm still doing as much research on it as possible. There's just not many people really talk about it that do that style of benching. So it's kind of just trial and error and just finding people that do it and asking. There's a couple of coaches I might speak to about it as well, and just, I'm sure they've got lifters that have done this before that bench like this, so I'll maybe get opinions from a couple of other people that I know within powerlifting coaching world. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how we get on. I have a good feeling about it still, but obviously after last week's really light session where it felt incredible, I was very excited. Now I've like had a worse session, I'm a bit more like, oh, maybe it's not the right move. But I know it's just because it's a skill practice thing and I'm not good at being bad at things. Like as soon as I'm bad at something, I want to just write it off, but that's not going to happen with this. I'm going to stick it through for the entire block. Even if I just keep it in for another couple of blocks, like it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. I will deadlift.
So if you want your head and heart unbroken, you better leave now. 'Cause this is fatal attraction. These are times of crimes of passion. One of us gonna get hurt. You've got the madness in you.
Okay, so just finished my session, very out of breath. Deadlifts were fine. It's quite nice in a way. Like, deadlifts have always been my worst lift, or well, pretty much my entire powerlifting career. They've been like my worst of the 3, and because of that, it's the one that I enjoy the least in training. Now, don't get me wrong, I obviously don't enjoy loads of heavy volume on squats, but I find it easier to get through that than I do like heavy volume and stuff on deadlifts. So I'm very thankful that. And I think this is this way for a lot of people, to be fair, especially with conventional pullers. Like, if I push my squat, my deadlift can just kind of tick along in the background and it will still progress. Whereas if you try and push both at the same time, like, it's very common that there's going to be interference between the two. So I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, like since comp and stuff, but deadlift is just basically ticking along in the back burner. So on my week 4s of the block, like my heaviest week of the block, I'm still not going to be really pushing my deadlift. Like, I'll probably still get volume PBs, but they're not going to be like RP10, like the last couple blocks into comp and stuff, I started pushing my deadlift a little bit more in that final week, and I do like ascending sets. and I'd hit like decent rep PBs that I've never kind of hit before, and they would be like an RPE 9, maybe even, I don't think anything was a 10 to be fair, but it wasn't too far off. But like, I'm now gonna just make sure that I'm very strict with not pushing my deadlift until comp, basically. So even if I get to the end of the block and I'm doing the prescribed load and I feel like I've got more room, I'm just gonna stick with it where it is and stick to the prescribed load, because again, they're gonna be pretty much PBs, but I'm basically just gonna try and avoid any interference between deadlift and squat between now and comp, or like as little interference as possible. There's always going to be some level of it. So yeah, basically, as someone that doesn't love deadlifts, it's quite nice for me being able to just let them tick along in the background while I push squats and bench. Also, my t-shirt is a stay because I've been using it to like wipe my sweat off, and obviously my hands are covered in chalk and talc, and yeah. So if you can see any dirt on my t-shirt, I promise it was clean when I put it on. It's literally just from like dirt in the gym and on the bar and on the plates and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I'm annoyed with bench, and in my, like, if I wasn't on a program, I would probably still be benching right now trying to get it right. But I know it's something that will obviously take time to get used to, and I am excited to work on it. Like, it is nice doing something different, but also obviously I want to be great at it straight away. So it's going to take some getting used to. I'm going to continue just doing like research, looking at all the lifters that do it, that type of benching, kind of speaking to some coaches and stuff like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, like it's fine. Like I know it's going to be fine, and it's not going to take away from my soft touch either. So even if this doesn't work, it's not going to have changed anything. But I think, you know, I've got a good feeling. If I can get it right, it's going to be good. It was just that some reps, like, it's weird actually, the top single that I was the least, or like the 3x1 that I did at 100, the second single was actually the best one and it felt the best, but it was the one that I let sink into my chest more. So I need to keep looking and making notes of what feels best each week and just try and make that then consistent. But it could also be that it just felt best because I'm not used to the other way of like controlling it down and stuff. But anyway, it's fine. I know it will get there. Okay, so it is Saturday. I have just finished training. I've merged these two videos into one, so Friday's and Monday's video, because I just didn't get a chance to get Friday's up on time, and I thought I would just combine the two because I didn't really talk too much. Anyway, it was quite a light session on Wednesday, so Friday's video was quite short. So yeah, merging the two together, but I will get back to twice a week uploads from now on. Yeah, I will show you today's session and then talk you through it.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute, work hard for the car, so that's why it's all tinted. Wait a minute, had a real late night, woke up with my head spinning out in Nashville. It's been mad real, I need sunglasses, I need Advil. I like fake boobs, and my cash real. I like first place, you're in last still. Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.
Look, pocket rocket in my pocket, please don't make me pop it. All these boys just wanna copy the style, tell them niggas stop it. Whoa, this my destiny, feeling like Latoya, like it found me my Beyonce, and she shotgun in the cockpit. Grinding with the team, making C notes. In my pocket still full of green, call it CeeLo. Alligator watch on me, Tim Tebow, and these haters love to watch me like Tebow. Look, I don't take L's, I just learn a lesson. Before I count the M's, always count my blessings. Look, I'm too short, never second guessing. Got some money, put up for the rain, so I'm never stressing.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east.
Okay, so not much to say, and my camera is about to run out of battery, so just going to really quickly rattle through. Squats felt great, really good, no back pump at all, I mentioned earlier in the video. Back feels 100% again. Steps have been crazy high this week. I say crazy high. I'm actively trying to keep them crazy high, so that will obviously have affected things, but squats felt incredibly strong. The 155 for 4 I was a little bit nervous for. I think anything rep-wise above 150 does still kind of not register. Like I get nervous for it, thinking it shouldn't be that comfortable, but obviously it moved absolutely fine and it was really comfortable. trying to just focus on really keeping a solid brace and just taking my time from rep to rep, and they felt amazing. Like I felt like I was completely on my legs felt powerful, and then back off fours at 145, just rattled through them. I was actually on the phone to my friend the entire session, and the session literally took me an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm pretty happy with that. Bench was really comfortable. The back offs got quite hard towards the end, but I mean, they're going to. Trying to focus on pausing my back offs as well. Not like a full comp pause, but just an active stop on my chest before I press it back up. And elbows are still very tender, so that obviously isn't helping with squats or bench, especially with bench and like holding it on my chest. My top single at 107.5 matches my comp max from 2 weeks ago, which is a joke because 107.5 is so comfortable. Today, even with my elbows feeling really tender, it wasn't the best pause again, I don't think, but it moved really comfortably, so it's fine. Okay, so my camera died, but I'm just going to film the rest of the recap on my phone, so if the quality has gone massively downhill, I apologise, although it shouldn't be too bad. Well, I don't even know what I was in the middle of saying when my camera died, I'll be honest. I am overall pretty happy with today's session. I did RDLs at the end, got a new PB. So I mentioned in last week's video that my RDLs got very stagnant at around 100 kilos for sets of 8. I'm not very good anything above 8 reps, and I mentioned that in the last video, like my body is just not good anything higher than that. So I was like, right, I need to push my RDLs, they're going to help my deadlift, so I'm going to drop my rep range to 6 to 8 reps, and knowing that I'll probably do closer to 6, let's be honest. So today I did a set of 90 for 6, which was really comfortable, so I went up to 100 for 6, really comfortable, and ended at 110 for 6, which, to be fair, I think there was still room, but I called it there. I also mentioned in the last video that my hamstring has been a bit iffy. Like, well, my hamstrings have always been a bit iffy. My right hamstring before comp was it was very tight, and it was quite pulled, and it was really like just causing problems. So I am being a bit careful with loading my RDLs, and hopefully like this block I'm kind of easing back in, and then hopefully next block I can really push them. But I've never done 110 for RDLs before, so I am pretty happy to do that for a set of 6 and still have room in the tank. Like, it wasn't easy, but I definitely had room in the tank. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy. Got through today's session in pretty good time. Like, I think I was in now and I'd cleared the gym up within an hour and a half, which is pretty good, like, especially because it's so hot here today as well. It was very muggy in there. You can probably tell from the state of me, like, it's very warm here. But I had to train midday because I have got plans this evening, so I wanted to get my session done pretty early. And to be honest, I want to try and train this sort of time more often so that I can actually like relax and enjoy my evenings a bit more. But yeah, so very happy with this week of training. My body is feeling a lot fresher now. Keeping my steps up. I haven't weighed myself. I'm kind of taking a bit of a break for weighing myself just while I get back to 100% consistency and stuff with my tracking. I've had a few days now of complete consistency tracking. So yeah, just gonna let my body weight kind of settle. Gonna get my steps regularly up, and then I'll weigh myself. So maybe like another week, and then I'll see where I'm at. Plan is, so I don't know, I can't remember what I mentioned in what was meant to be Friday's video that has now become this video, so I might have already spoken about this. Plan is, as long as the invite comes through, to do Commonwealth. Might change my mind. I'm very good at changing my mind. But that is my current thought process, is I will probably do Commonwealth. So if that is the case, I think what I would like to do is trial going in at about 84 kilos body weight. Because what I was kind of toying with anyway, regardless of what my next comp was going to be, was after All England's, continuing to cut weight to about 82 and then gradually kind of bulk back up. Just because I have got a lot of body fat that I can lose still. And I think for longevity in the weight class, I mean, there's not really any other option for me with weight classes. Like, I'm not going to go 84 plus because to be competitive, I would have to gain too much weight. And I know my body wouldn't handle that very well. There's also a fly buzzing in my head, so sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, so I think I would like to trial sitting around 84, maybe even 83 going into this comp and just see how I get on. Obviously I would be stronger if I was a little bit heavier, but then what I can also do is if I continue to cut and then bulk up into the British and cut for the British, like a last minute cut type thing, like an acute weight cut, I might have a better performance at the British. I haven't fully decided yet. I mean, to be honest, there's only 6 weeks between Commonwealth and the British as well, which is why I'm not 100% set on Commonwealth yet, but I'm telling myself I probably should do it just for fun and for the experience. Like, it'll be, if nothing else, a fun holiday. But yeah, so my plan is to basically get my weight down a little bit and settle around 84 for the next few months. Also because I know I've been told the resort in South Africa for the Commonwealth doesn't have the best food options, and I want to be able to just not even think about it. Like, I know I'd be able to do it. Like, people cut weight there. I think they've probably got saunas in every hotel. Like, I could easily make weight if I was over, but it's just one less thing I'm gonna have to think about. But this isn't anything decided, but for now, I think I'm going to just continue to try and sit around 84. I think I'm probably about 86-ish at the moment, but again, I'm going to check in a week's time and see where we're at. But yeah, that was all I had to say. It's been a good week of training. I'm starting to feel stronger again. Very happy with how squats are feeling. Not very happy with how sinking bench went this week, but I think I was just overcomplicating it in my head. I've been continuously watching people that do it and seeing what I can find on it. And I think what I was doing on the first week, even though it caused a bit of extra bruising, that's an update I haven't given. Nowhere near as much bruising this week, even though I don't feel like I did much different in terms of how I dropped it on my chest. I think it's something that my body just has to adapt to, in all honesty. So basically what I'm thinking is next week I'm going to try and mimic what I did on the first week where it felt really good and see how we go, rather than keep trying to change things and get it perfect straight away. You need to just gradually get better. But yeah, gonna wrap up the video here. I hope you have enjoyed. I will get back to twice a week uploads from now, I promise. Yeah, I promise. Definitely gonna do that. No, I will. It was just because I actually gave myself like Friday evening completely just off, and that's when I've been doing my videos recently. And then this morning I was like, well, there's no point uploading Saturday and Monday. I might as well just do a longer video on Monday, especially because Wednesday's session wasn't anything interesting. So but yeah, basically, gonna wrap the video up here. I will get back to uploading twice a week, so Mondays and Fridays. For the most part, it'll be Mondays and Fridays. If I can get them up earlier, I will. If they're a day late, they're a day late. But thank you if you made it this far. Leave a like, comment and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions for me, because on these lighter weeks especially, it is more interesting if I have questions and stuff to answer. I'll probably put another Q&A box up on my Instagram soon as well to get some more on there. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you on Friday for the next video.
Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.